Hey everyone, Paul Kreiter here, founder and CEO of Kreiter Creatives Consulting, with these top 5 tips you need in order to be the most effective in-person live presenter. Tip number 1, cadence and tone. Remember, you control the volume of your voice and also the speed at which you speak. Cadence and tone can make or break a live presentation. Now, different from virtual presentations, you have to contend with live audience energy. There is a feeling in the room when you get on stage and when you're speaking in front of others. It's an energy that we can't recreate in a virtual environment. It will drive your nerves, good or bad, up the wall. So you have to prepare for that, and you have to control how the content comes out of your mouth. The rule to keep in mind, the slower you go, think of the tortoise versus the hare. The slower you go, the better it will be for your audience. It might seem like the speed of molasses to you, but I guarantee you, the way your audience hears it, your information will sink in ways that it won't if your energy and your nerves and your everything is because it's live and you can't. And I'm so excited about that. And that's where the fillers comes in. And the right, we've all been there. The slower you go, the more control you have over the volume of your voice. And when you choose to raise your voice, because it's important sometimes, and also the times when you slow it down and even get to a point where you feel like you're whispering to your audience. That emphasizes some really key ideas you might be getting at. So, cadence and tone. Go slow and control the volume of your voice. Tip number 2, rethink your presentation structure. Here at Kreiter Creatives, we work with you to design unique information sharing experiences for your audiences. Our method is called the sandwich model, where we create unique experiences for your audience. We do it this way. We give you the top bun experience, which is that grabbing, opening portion of your presentation that's going to grab the attention of your audience. Then we dive into the ingredients, the meat, the cheese, the veggies. These are the core ideas that you're going to share. And we help you share them in ways that excite your audience, but also transition those ideas effectively. And then, of course, think about the sandwich is not complete without the bottom bun. So that is the way we leave our audiences. The catalytic moment, the upward trajectory you're going to have them walking out the room excited about what they've learned, maybe even being able to apply what they've learned immediately. That's that catalyst moment you want to bring them in that bottom bun. So when you are thinking about putting together your presentation structure, consider the sandwich model. Tip number 3, engage your audience. This is a lot easier to do when you're live as opposed to virtual. Okay? You will be able to see people's faces. You can literally engage with them. So, when you are giving your presentations, remember, you can walk to stage left. You can walk to stage right. You can come down stage and speak to your audience when the moment calls for it. We don't just move to move. We move to further our points and to engage our listeners. For example, you'll see in typical presentations that people want to engage their listeners at the end. I've spoken for 55 minutes about God knows what. I don't know if you've been listening the whole time because I haven't asked you. Now I want to force a Q&A opportunity on you. Hi, I've been with you for 55 minutes and I've been talking. Does anyone have any questions? Usually the first question is, when can we go? Okay? That's not the way to engage your audience. After every key point you make in an audience-first presentation, you can stop and create a Q&A moment then. You can start your presentation by asking for audience members to raise their hands, shout out some answers. I want to hear from you. The moment you decide to engage your audience in those kinds of ways, the more memorable you'll be, and they'll never forget what you've told them in terms of the content you've shared. Engage your audience as best as possible and as many times as possible throughout your live presentation. Tip number 4, lighting, sound, and visuals. Pay attention to how you use these things. With in-person live presentations, you don't always have control over those circumstances, over that technology. So it is imperative that you reach out to the event organizers to find out who the AV team is, audiovisual, and to make sure that the systems will work with your systems. Are you a Mac person and they're set up for PC only? Does the lighting on the stage you're using illuminate your face or just the top of your head? Can people hear you in the back of the room? What kind of mic are you going to use? Is it something like this that's going to be on your lapel? Are you going to be holding it in your hand? Are you going to be glued to a podium? You have to know those things in order to effectively deliver information so that your audience can hear it and understand it. If they can't see you, they can't hear you, they're not going to care what you have to say. And if you're not prepared for the technology in that room, then it could throw you off your game completely. Don't let lighting, sound, and your visuals get in the way from sharing the most important stories and information for your audience. Tip number 5, practice and rehearse. You can't get onto a live stage and just wing it. The energy in that room, the expectation the audience has that you're going to perform the heck out of this thing for them. Remember, you came there to give them information, yes, but you're also the star. And it's not for self-gratification or the self-glory. Yay, for me, I'm the star. You're the star information sharer for those people listening. You're in a really great position to lead that room through some outstanding educational material, inspirational moments. You have a really awesome role on your hands. So you should be spending weeks, maybe even months, getting your content ready for that live experience. Maybe we don't have weeks. Maybe you don't have months. Spending hours, minutes, even planning, pre-planning your content, your outlines, putting in a little bit above and beyond in terms of your presentation structure, how you're going to manage certain situations throughout your presentation will go a long way for when you are live on stage performing your information for audiences. Practice, rehearse, don't skip. It's very important. It gets your nerves out. It gets you ready for the moment because the moment actually isn't yours. It's your audience's.